Hello YouTube. I'm starting a YouTube channel and I wanted to start off my first video by showing people how to properly unbox car parts to make sure that you don't damage the contents inside. It's very important because there might be gaskets on top or something like that. So let me set this down. I'm going to grab my tool and we're just going to get started, okay? Alright, let's see what's inside. Small block Chevy intake manifold. This might be a good video after all. Let's go put it on. This here fine automobile is a 1991 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am edition. We're going to switch it to carburation because I believe that is the best option because of the age of the wiring, the sensors, the computer. It's all starting to not do so well. But the intake parts, hard, aluminum, cast aluminum, we're going to see if someone else wants that for their project, if it's Corvettes and stuff like that. So let's get into it. Under the hood, we have this tune port injection. GM's early port manifold injection system. You can see the injectors down the side there. 5 liters of Fury here. Nah, pretty limp for the, 90s and all. So, let's get this manifold off and I'll be back in a second. For those of you following along as a tutorial, we need to first remove that bolt, that bolt, that bolt, that bolt, that bolt, and that bolt to remove the centerpiece. That way we can access the side tubes here, whatever they call runners, whatever. And we also need to remove the linkages. The go fast pedal and the transmission kick down. I think this thing had cruise control. Yep, there it is right there, but it's not hooked up. We're not going to hook it up because, well, cruise control is nice, but not for this car. Well, hello there, neighbor. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously though, get the center intake off. So we need to get these bolts off down in here along these runners here. There's a sneaky boy right in there. And I'll be back when I got those off. Man, Skeeter's starting to get bad out here. No, Florida and all. Nah, I'm just kidding. Anyways. People are like, oh, look how much torque should you use to remove these bolts? The question is, the answer is all of it. You want all the torque assists. Now your Skeeter. If I could get the hole. Come on now. Find the hole. That one's very tight. There we go. Well, to show you all something before I take this final bolt out. Some of you youngins, or newbies, need to be careful because don't just start yanking on stuff when it's loose because you'll end up cracking it. Now, I did not do that here. And I'll show you afterwards, but there's a sneaky little bolt. I don't know if it's on camera down in there. It looks like we have to pull the fuel rail or try to sneak beside the distributor, but we're going to try the fuel rail first. I'll be right back. And look at that. Oh, tell you, I really think GM hated their technicians back in the 90s. But got the rest of the upper intake off, got the fuel rail off. I think that's a good stopping point for tonight. It's starting to get dark. and I got work in the morning, and maybe tomorrow. It depends on the weather. As you can tell, I'm outside, so if it's raining, I like you guys, but I don't want to get wet. No one does. So, see you later. Hey there. Day 2 working on the Firebird. Let's try to get the rest of the intake off. Get her cleaned up. Maybe get the new intake on. No, we'll see. Ain't like I'm gonna lose a shop or anything if it don't get done. So, give me a minute and let's get this hood open. Okay, and we're back. I got all the fasteners loose. It wiggles a little, but I want to wait for y'all before I pull it off because that's the most satisfying part. So let me first get some of this coolant, water, 90% water because we're in Florida and people don't believe in coolant for some reason. Then you get rust, and anyways, we're on the spiel. So let me get the old sucker out. Suck some of this stuff up. Oh, I should probably have warned you, in case you got puppy dogs or kitties so they don't go running. But quality content here. Listen to a vacuum for the next 30 seconds. And if I scared any of your dogs or cats, tell them I'm sorry. Anyways, without further ado, let's get this off here. Huh. That is actually not that terrible. I'm gonna clean her up a little bit, but let's get her cleaned up, put the new one on. And just like that, we're back. Got her all nice and clean, got the china wall looking good. I'm the most paranoid about that, but yeah, I think it's time to set the old intake down on her. Let's tilt you down there. All right, now we saw how we carefully open this package. So now let's see if this fits on here. like a glove. Y'all tell me my hair's messed up, right? Okay. Anyways, yeah, I think it's gasket time. So it's getting pretty late until I got the old Harbor Freight lights on. Not sponsored. I do like them though. But I think it's time for another time lapse.
Just kidding.
Well, as you can tell, it is on, and it is dark. My kitties are hungry, probably. I'm for sure hungry. Look at my fat butt. Can't say the A word. We're trying to be a little PG-13, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, but I think that's gonna do it for tonight. Once again, is my hair messy? No, just kidding. I don't care actually. But yeah. Oh, let me bring you in here for one little thing about these Chinese intakes. That little guy right there. He's pretty tight in there. So I'm going to see if my work would like to donate a fastener to me tomorrow. Let's say on these small block Chevys, I think they're 3/8, so 3/8, 16, something like that. Anyways, so we'll see you tomorrow. Rant over. Oh, day 3 on the Firebird. I got to say, hardware acquired, courtesy of my boss. He said I can have it. I didn't steal it now. So we're gonna swap this out and clean her up a little bit and throw some color on her before we put the distributor and the carburetor on. Oh, I did stop by the auto parts store and picked up a water neck, thermostat, and some of these Wix filters one of my favorite YouTuber told me about. So let's start stripping some of this air pump junk off of here, clean her up, get some color on it. A bolt is in. However, that's my little finger. But I'll show you how to bandage that up real quick. See, you take your Walmart brand brake clean, has to be Walmart now. You spray that on there to sanitize it. That's a little funny. Anyways, get yourself some blue tape. Yeah, I guess any tape will work, but you know, gotta keep her clean. Wrap her up nice and tight. Not too tight. You gotta wiggle that, you know. I don't know. Might change it out for a band-aid later. Might not. See how the day goes. Anyways, so yeah, let's get this cleaned up. So some time has passed. I got her all sprayed up with this metallic blue. The reason I went with it because I found it is the most reminiscent of the old Pontiacs. Maybe a shade off or two, but you know, I did the best I could. I know you can buy the right stuff online and whatnot, but ain't nobody got time for that. Anyways, I think it looks good. Now, the reason it took me so long to do this is because the air pump stuff on this side I actually took off instead of smashing it over, you know, cutting it and smashing it over like a lot of people do. For one, I think that just looks cheesy. I mean, you have bent over pipes on your manifolds. Come on, just buy the stupid 1/4-inch plugs. And two, everybody does that. This may someday become unobtainium. Reason being is because, I mean, there are going to be people that want to restore these cars to the way they were back in the day. Is it going to be me? Probably not. But someone will. And this is something that they might need, because everybody just cuts them right there, there, and there, and smashes them over so the exhaust don't leak. So it's probably going to take me a while to get the other side off of all that mess. Even if, I mean, I might just leave it. And the reason also I did not paint the valve covers is I believe I do have some chrome ones floating around here somewhere. So while we're in here, we're going to swap those out and all that. I have to take some measurements for the water neck, a plug. I mean the heater core, plug that. I think that's an 1/8-inch plug. Water neck, I also need to adapt that over. But hopefully tomorrow we can stab the distributor in, you know, get on top dead center and all that so we don't put it in backwards. And possibly throw the carburetor on. Maybe throw a little gasoline in the top just to hear it make some noise. But we'll see when tomorrow comes what happens and all that. But until then, I'll see you tomorrow.
3 days later.
Hey y'all, it's been a few days. Had some stuff to take care of around the house. So I'm back at it. We're gonna finish up the video today, trying to make some sound out of this thing. So carburetor and timing, stab distributor in. I got a little bit more time today because it is the weekend. So let's get into it, make some noise hopefully today. Okay, so the first step to putting a distributor is we have to determine what is top dead center on the firing stroke. So what we do is, dang Sunday drivers, calm down now. Anyways, put your finger in the hole of the #1 spark plug, get yourself a breaker bar, or the ratchet in this case, and turn the motor over slowly by hand, and you will feel pressure when it's on the compression stroke. Okay, I'm starting to get pressure, so the piston is coming up on the compression stroke. So now, and as soon as you feel they're starting to come up, it'll start pushing the object out. You can feel it, just go slow. And that should be top dead center. And there is a mark on the balancer to indicate that. I don't know if you'll be able to see it if I bring you in, but we will try. Warning if you get motion sickness. Maybe. I don't know. A little white dot down in there. Anyways. So, we'll put you back. Now that we have established we are on top dead center of the compression stroke, let's grab the distributor and put it in there and have the rotor pointing at the #1 cylinder on small block Chevys only. I don't know Fords or Dodges, but on a Chevy, that's how you do it. Now I picked this distributor because it's clear and I like to see the sparkles. No particular reason. But let's go ahead and try to stab her in. Come on, get on in there. Go to your home. There we go. Alright, so now I need to pull that cap so I can see where we're at. There's a screwdriver over here? Yeah, there it should be. Let's go to time lapse. Something you have to keep in mind also is there is a little flat, like screwdriver flat end on the bottom of that distributor. That's to line up with the oil pump drive. If it doesn't do that, it won't go in all the way. And then if you're not careful and you just try to force it, you'll end up messing stuff up. So that's what you saw me doing in the video, crawling up in there. I'm sure you got a good view. I might cut that out, might not. Anyways, let's go ahead and let's get the hold down cleaned up, put in, get the cap on, and get some of these holes blocked off, the vacuum ones, so that we don't get a vacuum leak while we're trying to get this thing to make some noise. Okay, got the distributor stabbed in, wires all over the place. Well, clean that up later. We just want to make some noise today. So I'm gonna go get the carburetor and I'll be right back. See here, we have the finest carburetor ever. This right here. Gross. Nah, for reals this time. We got the finest carburetor that China can send us for $200. Oh, that's a pretty good fuel filter there too, they sent. Alright, get this thing unbagged. Look at her. Yeah, these guys building Chinese carburetors like they almost know what they're doing. So I don't know that language, so I'm just going to assume it just throw it on there, throw some fuel, and see what happens. So that's what we're going to do. All right, let's see if we make any noise at all. I got a fuel leak and open sparks, so hopefully nothing happens. Okay. Well, we made some noise. So I think that's going to do it for this episode, because I have a lot of work to do before I can actually run this thing. Let me see if I can fill the fuel bowls. Let's try it. Why not? Make some noise. Okay. Yeah, I got some tuning to do and button up some wiring, do the fuel system, because as you can tell, it's just squirting all over the place. So I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for joining me. Hope I made you laugh. Hope you learned something. Please like and subscribe. Have a good day.